Use the periodic table to answer the following questions. Okay. Identify an element with 5 electrons in the outer subshell. Well, 5 electrons in the outer subshell. That would be group 5, right? Yes. So that would be group 5. Group 15 should be the one you should consider. 15 is the group. So if you have nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth, they have 5 valence electrons, Ns2, Np3, a total of 5. That is the valence shell configuration. Don't look at this. Don't look at these. These are bad numbers. And NCERT is not very sublime. It is one table directly copied from NCERT, but then they are not very good when it comes to numbering them properly. Identify the element that would tend to lose 2 electrons. Which element would tend to lose 2 electrons? If after losing 2 electrons, it becomes, it acquires noble gas configuration. Actually, group 2 elements are the ones which would tend to lose 2 electrons. So you have beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. These are the elements which would form dipositive cations. They would tend to lose 2 electrons. Right? There we are. Interestingly, you also have more. Group 2b, if you see, or zinc, cadmium, mercury. This is again one group which also loves to lose 2 electrons and it also forms dipositive cations. Identify the element that would tend to gain 2 electrons. If by gaining 2 electrons they can acquire noble gas configuration, that would be lovely. And this means that we are talking about group 16. These are the elements. Skip polonium. Polonium being a metal, it can have its own issues. But oxygen, sulfur, selenium and tellurium, this is a group 16, which contains, yes, nonmetals, and these nonmetals or metalloids would very much love to gain 2 electrons like this. Now, this is very interesting. If you look at it, you need a metal and a non-metal both, liquid as well as a gas both. If you care to see, group 1 has a metal, the full group is metals, lithium, right till cesium. You also have a non-metal, hydrogen. Is there a gas? Yes, hydrogen is a gas. But if you look at others are solids, there is no liquid. So group 1 would not qualify here. Other than group 1, if you look at S, D or F blocks, the entire block contains metals, and metals alone you would not have non-metals. So the only place you can look at would be P block. In P block, if you want a liquid, now gaseous state is pretty popular. Solid state is very popular, of course. Liquids are not so common. If you look at group 13, all of them are solids. Group 14, all are solids. Gases begin from group 15. Yes, you have nitrogen, which is gaseous. Then you have phosphorus onwards, solids. In group 16, you have oxygen, which is gaseous. Sulfur onwards, they are solids. If you look at noble gases, all of them are by name itself gases. Liquid is present only in one family, my dear, and that is halogens. Bromine is liquid at room temperature. Fluorine and chlorine are gaseous at room temperature, while iodine is a solid. Okay. What about metals and non-metals? Honestly speaking, if you just look at the first elements F, Cl, Br and I, the first 4 are very much non-metals. F, Cl, Br and I are non-metals. Astatine, At, is a metalloid, and Ts is something, 117, the very elusive element, that is supposed to be a metal. So yes, you have indeed, although radioactive and very unstable and rare, you have metalloid, you have lots of non-metals, and you also have a metal. That, my dears, would be the only group which would qualify for this. One warning before we go ahead. Many of the popular internet solutions with very famous companies mention iodine as metal. That is absolutely absurd. Iodine is a classic non-metal. If you want, you just look at the solutions provided by other internet companies, edtechs. You would mostly discover that they have copied it from each other and they are declaring iodine as a non-metal, iodine as a metal, which is quite gross. It is not. Just because many people are saying it, please don't confuse that, because 10 people are writing it, it's correct. Also note that every comma full stop is copied. So they're just copies from each other, copied by bots and robots, not even technically or by some sensible persons, right? Fine. This is it.